All right, let's dive right into a really powerful lesson for success. I want you to imagine something for a second. Imagine you meet two brand new people. So, on one hand, you've got the complainer. You know the type. They're just constantly negative, always finding something to be unhappy about, and it's always someone else's fault. But then, on the other hand, you have the motivator. This person is the complete opposite. They're upbeat, they've got this great energy, and they're always focused on finding solutions instead of just dwelling on the problems. Okay, so here's the big question for you. If you had to spend the next year with both of them equally, which person do you honestly think would influence your life more? Your mindset, your habits, even your future? The answer? Well, it might not be what you think. And it leads us right into a really powerful rule for life. And that rule is Law 10, Infection. It comes from that classic book, The 48 Laws of Power. Now, the law basically advises you to avoid people who are perpetually unhappy and unlucky. And look, this isn't about being cruel. It's about self-preservation. Because their misfortune, it can literally spread to you. It's contagious. So let's break down exactly how this whole thing works. Okay, first things first. We've got to get our heads around this idea of the contagious mind. Basically, we need to understand why our emotions can spread from person to person, almost like a virus. So here's the absolute truth about human psychology. Emotions are so contagious. There's actually a scientific term for it, emotional contagion. And get this, it's literally wired into our biology. We have these things called mirror neurons, right? And they make us unconsciously mimic and then internalize the feelings of the people we're around the most. So you could be the most positive person on the planet, but if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, it's just going to slowly, bit by bit, eat away at your own way of thinking. Let me give you an example. Imagine you have a coworker who's always saying stuff like, "Ugh, nothing ever works around here." The first few times, you probably just brush it off, right? You think, they're just venting. But then you keep hearing it. Maybe next it's something like, "Life is just so unfair." And slowly, without you even realizing it, that negative worldview just kind of becomes the background noise to all your conversations. And before you know it, that negativity morphs into something like, "I'm never going to succeed at this." After hearing these kinds of messages day in and day out, your own brain starts to believe them. It internalizes them. That is the infection taking hold. And that's exactly why this law is so incredibly important to understand. Okay, so let's talk about the real danger here. This is when their problems literally start becoming your problems. Look, the risks here are very, very real. Chronically negative people don't just feel bad. They actively create drama and seem to attract conflict wherever they go. And if you're close to them, well, you're going to get caught in the crossfire. Just think about it. That coworker who's always battling with management. If you're seen as their closest friend at work, what do you think happens? Your own reputation starts to take a hit because people will start to see you as part of the problem too. So what's the solution? How do we handle this? Well, let's flip this around and look at what successful people do. Their strategy is all about proactively building an environment that's designed for growth. I think the best way to visualize this is with a metaphor. Think of your mind like a garden. It really is. Now, if you let weeds, negative thoughts, negative people, grow completely unchecked, what happens? They're going to choke out all the amazing things you're trying to grow. You absolutely have to protect that garden. So the question becomes, who do you let into your garden? You see, successful people are incredibly intentional about this. They actively go out and find people who have goals, who work hard, who have a positive outlook, and who genuinely support others. These are the kind of people who create an atmosphere where growth isn't just possible, it's pretty much inevitable. And this right here is the key point. This is not a passive thing. You don't just accidentally fall into a great group of friends or magically land in a positive work culture. No, you have to build it intentionally, one relationship at a time. You are the architect of your social and mental environment. Okay, so how can you actually start applying this to your own life? Let's make it super practical. Here's a simple 3-step action plan to start guarding your future. All right, step 1, just observe. Seriously, just start paying attention to how the people around you talk about their life. Are they always complaining or are they trying to find solutions? Step 2, be intentional about spending more time with those growth-minded people. The ones who are reading, learning, building things. And finally, step 3, you have to limit your time with the toxic people. And this doesn't have to be some big dramatic confrontation. Just create some polite distance. And please, remember this. Protecting your mental energy like this, it's not selfish. at all. It is absolutely essential for your well-being and for your success. You've heard it before. You can't pour from an empty cup. And you definitely can't build a positive future if you're stuck in a negative environment. So, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Your success, it isn't just about what you do or how hard you work. It is profoundly shaped by the people you allow to be around you. So the real question you have to ask yourself is this: are you actively choosing your environment, or are you just letting your environment choose you? Think about it and choose wisely.